Let's dive straight into tonight's breaking news here on Sky, the first place and the only place you'll see tomorrow's news tonight. Let's take a look at the front page of the AFR and this story by Matthew Cranston about the Morrison government expanding bushfire aid for business. Now, obviously, we're going to start the top of the show with all things bushfire because that is still the most important piece of news and news story doing the rounds in Australia tonight. But this is the angle we'll start with, if you like, and this is a story which is detailing the Morrison government's announcement tomorrow, which is Monday, a tripling in the size of cheap loans and grants for any small business hit by the bushfires in a move that will put pressure on the thinning budget surplus. Now, the government will announce loans of up to $500,000 to any business that has suffered asset or revenue losses from the fires in an attempt to regain political ground after taking a hit in the polls over its response to the fire crisis. Parnell, I'll start with you on this. I don't know about that paragraph. I mean, is this a response purely to matters political, or is it a pragmatic response from a government that is truly listening to how bad it is on the ground, particularly for small business owners?
Well, this is one of those things which it can actually be both. So, I mean, they are absolutely going to be helping the small businesses, but of course, sometimes the right thing to do is also the politically good thing to do. So, in this case, I think they dovetail nicely. It is going to be really, really important to support those businesses as they rebuild in the bush. And I'm not sure that, you know, the loans are a great initiative, but I'm not sure that by themselves they'll be enough. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more and a few more ideas coming from the communities themselves as well.
Yes, no doubt. The story goes on, Warren, to detail comments from the Insurance Council of Australia, and this is a conversation that I've seen, you know, broadly playing out on various media platforms since the fires struck in the deadly way that they have struck. The Insurance Council is reporting, and the story is reporting, that 13,750 bushfire-related claims have been made already, worth more than $1.34 billion. Surely one of the biggest challenges here that is beyond the government's control is how quickly can insurance companies come to the party, quickly process claims and get money into the hands of people who need it.
Yeah, that's true. Look, it is going to. It's in our record shows in the past that, you know, this has been a drawn-out process that takes quite a long time, and that's going to get bigger and bigger, those claims, as they come in. But I do got to congratulate the government on its action in regard to the business, getting that money into the small business area. It's the same with the drought, people focusing on the farmers, but that also affects the town businesses, the small businesses that operate in these areas.
Yes.
Now, with the devastation of the fire, if we can get businesses up and operating quickly, we can start getting jobs back in place, and that's going to make a big boost back into the economy, and also lessen the hit by what the fires have done. But this in regard to the insurance bodies, it's going to get worse, actually.
Oh, no doubt. I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we know we've got dozens and dozens of fires that are still raging. Grateful for the rain that's been falling, but we'll come to the weather a little bit later in the show. Last word on this story, because we do have quite a lot of bushfire-related coverage to get through. I know that Treasurer Josh Frydenberg has said the government's fiscal discipline is the reason that it can be extra generous in the face of this emergency. He says there is no reason to doubt that the surplus will be under threat despite the increase in funding. Parnell, this comes back to what you said at the beginning of the show. Doing what's right can also be doing what's popular. Not usual in the political realm, though, is it?
Well, yeah, I think people really do want what's right as well, and it depends sometimes how it's sold. I mean, look, of course, this is going to give up the surplus, and I think actually this could work out quite well for the government, because in a way, it was facing some tough headwinds globally and was looking at how it was going to need to stimulate the economy. The bushfires, to be completely cynical, provide both a bit of political cover for any economic downturn that might come, but also an opportunity to give surplus to businesses which now genuinely need it, to give stimulus. So I mean, you know, there will be some good political outcomes potentially, also from just doing the right thing in responding to a really bad situation.
Well, Well, look, I think that there's one thing that everyone can be on a unity ticket about, and that is that the last thing anyone on either side of the fence in mainstream Australia wants is a politicisation of this tragedy. That's the last thing that anyone wants.